Hi guys, I'm Dr. Zainab Vora and very happy to have Dr. Shivani with me, who has secured rank 11 in this NEET exam. So very well done, amazing rank. How are you feeling? Has it sunk in yet?
Not really. Like I had several people check the rank over and over again,
Yeah,
especially since the scorecard is not released and it's just the roll number.
yeah.
So yeah, it's still a little difficult to take in. I've read the roll number forwards, backwards, all kind of ways possible to confirm. So
I'm pretty sure it's true, and okay, as a confirmation that it's over now. You don't have to study
yeah.
any, and you can get whatever it is that you want to pursue. So that is what it boils down to. So tell us how did you get here? How was MBBS like? Where have you done your MBBS from? What was the sources that you used? What did you consolidate then, and then final internship? What did you do?
Okay. I did my MBBS in Kasturba Medical College, Mangalore. And when it comes to NEET preparation specifically, I did not think of it until after internship. Our college did have a lot of resources where we can think about PG preparations, but uh, for some reason I was just enjoying MBBS and all that it has to offer.
Amazing.
So I didn't really think about it too much. And then when internship started, I realized that I still didn't know what to do. So I wanted to take my time. So I had decided that by the end of internship, that's when I'll decide what to do. Because these days we have so many opportunities. Like in India itself, you have NEET and INI, and you have opportunities to go abroad also. And yeah, I just wanted to experience internship a little bit and then see what I wanted to do.
Which is
So
actually very fascinating to hear, because the general perception or the myth is that toppers would have it sorted. They would be reading textbooks, doing apps
yeah.
at the very beginning, and they know that this is the rank, this is the very fascinating for me to hear that till end of internship, I did not think about this exam. And then I just scored a rank 11, just I did that, which is nice to see. So,
Yeah.
so what happened after that? How did you approach the exam once you knew, that this is what you want to pursue?
Yeah. Luckily, what I did have was very strong basics. So when I started, I can't say that I started from scratch. During my entire MBBS itself, I did study pretty thoroughly. I studied from the, so-called standard textbooks because I genuinely enjoyed reading that content. So
Yeah,
I had my basics down.
yeah,
So I actually started my preparation. I finished my internship in March 2023. And I took April and May off just to, relax after so many years of
yeah,
constantly, being in a loop.
yeah,
And then, yeah, June was when I started. So
yeah.
June, what I started with was I started doing main videos. And when I was doing main videos, I started with the basic subjects like first year and second year. I particularly like physiology and pathology. So those are the subjects I started with.
Oh,
And but by the end of July, what happened was that um, I was studying, but there was no proper structured plan. I'm not very good with making schedules and sticking to a particular timeline. So I just felt a little lost.
yeah.
So I talked to one of my seniors and I had just asked her for resources. And she was talking about your videos on Unacademy, and then I just started researching it because you know how in the middle when you just don't feel like studying, you'll just be like, maybe this isn't what's right for me, and you'll just go on searching for something else.
Yeah.
So but this turned out well for me because I looked into that and then I saw that you had your own course.
Yeah.
And then I decided that, end of July or August, I'll start with that because I saw that you had these timetables put out for people, and I work well under that. When someone gives you a structure, I am a good follower. So yeah,
Yeah.
I had watched around two or three subject main videos by then. But in August, I started focusing on BTR videos solely. And then the same way that you have told us to follow, like it's not like I just did BTR. So I started doing BTR, then bonus BTR. After that, I started doing all the previous year questions. Once I had a kind of general idea of it, I watched RR videos of all of the subjects. And then from the RR
Right.
notes, whatever I felt was relevant content, I added into my BTR notes.
Hmm.
So I used to do my BTR notes on a tablet. So I used to constantly keep changing things, rearranging things. You learn something new, you solve new PYQs, and yeah. So it was like that. And initially, I had a tendency to just focus on a few particular subjects that I liked, like
Hmm.
especially postings like medicine and subjects like medicine and surgery. We've had such extensive postings in those things that
Hmm.
in the postings, the discussion that you have and the things that they teach you, it's something completely different from a didactic lecture.
Hmm.
So those are the ones which stuck with me, and I
Yeah.
ended up doing those subjects first and ignoring some of the smaller subjects. It's
Yeah.
because most of our third year and a part of our final year went into COVID lockdown. So we didn't have
Network is breaking a bit, Shivani.
but I just okay, there's a little bit of rain over here, ma'am.
Uh,
Network.
yeah,
Is
probably.
it better now?
Yeah, I can hear you a bit better. Let's wait for a
Okay.
couple. We'll edit this part out.
Okay,
Uh,
okay, ma'am. It's
uh, it's
Mangalore
better.
has a lot of rains and lightning all the times.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's better now. I think you can resume. We'll cut the last part.
Okay.
So you're talking about third,
Yes,
fourth,
ma'am. Postings and
medicine and
yes,
stuff.
ma'am. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
you can continue.
So yeah, the third prof and some part of fourth prof also was
Wait.
is it getting stuck again?
Yeah. I think you can start. I don't know if it's my connection, but
No, no, ma'am. It started raining a little heavier over here, so it
yeah,
can
I think
be
you can go on. You can go on now. ये वाला
okay.
part कर. Yeah, you can start now.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, ma'am. So, yeah, so the postings which I didn't have, the subjects where I didn't have that much, clinical exposure, those were a little difficult to get into at first. So, third year subjects, ophthal especially. But then I realized
Yeah.
that I absolutely have to do it at some point. And I was watching your videos, and, eventually I watched it once and then I just kept reading the notes again and again, solving the PYQs, and eventually it all just set into a very good pace, especially with the schedule that you had given. So I
So
kept
you were.
following that, and I can't do a lot of things at once.
Hmm.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, no. Sorry to interrupt. I was
I
just asking whether you were giving the test and discussions as well.
No, no, that was actually, I think, yeah, when I had subscribed, I think that is when you had started the ENDs.
Yeah,
But as I told you, I was very conflicted. I had already watched a few subjects in main videos.
right.
And yeah, so I can't take a lot of things at once.
Hmm.
So I decided that I'm going to do BTR, bonus BTR, and follow the basics and just get that down
Right,
straight.
right.
Yes, ma'am.
So once your content was sorted, and you were happy with how things were going as far as, the base or the foundation is concerned, once you had that, how did you improve upon it? Because I'm sure that that is not it for a rank
Yeah.
11. There was a lot of MCQ practice which was involved. So what else were you doing in addition to, the content per se, which was more or less done?
Um, yeah, I did solve a lot of MCQs as well. I started doing like mixed bag MCQs every
Hmm.
day, around 50 or 100, depending on how much time I had,
Yeah.
of MCQs from all subjects. And every time I saw a question, one thing that was difficult to get rid of was the PYQ bias, as you call it. So every time I saw a question, I would force myself to read it like I'm reading the alphabet and just break it down and
Mm.
try to see what it's actually asking me instead of, just seeing one word and immediately jumping onto the answer. So especially when I did that and when I got the answer wrong, I would get curious as to why my line of thinking was wrong. And
Mm.
then I would spend some time going through my notes, going through the explanation of the MCQs, sometimes even browsing online for, some content which may not be relevant to NEET PG preparation as such, but it would
Yeah.
just help me sort out my thinking, like, the logic
Mm.
that I was using in that question, whether,
Yeah.
why it was wrong, rather than
Yeah.
what the wrong answer is and what the right answer is.
Amazing. You know what stands out when I listen to you is your passion for learning medicine. That is what I can gauge here. Is there is no strategy, there is no core focus towards an exam. It's just
Mm.
your passion. Your secret to this result is not strategy. It is your passion and your love for this field is what I can sense here. Uh,
Thank you.
so amazing, So when you actually went for the exam, there was so much chaos around the exam. That's a whole
Yeah.
different ball game.
Yes,
So
ma'am.
when you eventually did end up going on 11th of August, how was the exam for you? Did it come as a surprise that this is not the level I was expecting, or how did you handle that day?
That day was, first of all, it was difficult because my exam center was completely away from my hometown.
Hmm.
And once I actually reached there, everything, the exam center was fine. But once I started giving the exam, the first set seemed fine. I answered all the questions and I was like, okay, this is doable. Then when the second set started, I I don't know, but the questions that I saw, I wouldn't call them difficult. Like I was ready for a difficult paper, but the way I would describe it was weird. Like I would read the questions and I'm not that familiar with the topic. And some questions I wasn't even sure exactly what they were trying to ask.
Yeah.
So it was just,
Certain questions were just irritatingly
yes,
difficult, that
yeah,
both are the right answers, how do you want us to choose? Or sometimes just why have they asked such a question? And I believe this
yeah,
happens in the exam
yes,
somehow.
ma'am.
In our Indian PG segment, even in INI CET, you'll see such things happening that, both of them in real life would be correct. And that is
Mm,
one thing that students need to be primed about. They're going thinking that the exam will be like a GT where there's a clear-cut answer and
yeah,
there is an explanation for that. Here, somehow there'll be 10, 20 questions where there is absolutely no explanation to
yes,
what
ma'am.
the answer is. It could be either ways.
Mm.
Yeah.
So as the sets kept going forward, I thought it was just one set that was going to be that way. But
Yeah.
every set there were, a few questions like that.
Yeah.
And when there are a few questions like that, it kind of throws you off.
Yeah.
And even though the rest of the questions may have been fine and what you expected, you keep thinking about that. But I think that is where the fact that they changed the NEET pattern into these blocks of questions, I feel that has really helped me. So that once I answer a particular set of questions, and the next set when I answer, that set is gone. There
Yeah.
is no point worrying about it. There's no point thinking over it because there's nothing I can do about it.
Yeah.
So that really helped me out a lot. So as the sets went on, it was a little, yeah, difficult. And when I came out of the exam hall, I was very confused. I did not know, um, I could not say how my preparation, like how I performed in the exam. But
Yeah.
for some
This was
reason, I
the first
was,
shift or the
yes,
second
ma'am.
shift, by the way?
Second
First
shift,
shift or the
ma'am.
second?
Second shift in the
Right.
afternoon. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but for some reason, recently I was taking GTs religiously, and I
Yeah.
saw that in GTs my rank was going up. So that just made me want more. So when I was in the exam, even when the questions were difficult, I was not willing to
Yeah.
um, let go.
Hmm.
I don't know how to explain it. Even when the question seemed very off,
Hmm.
I did not want to let go. Even like you say, even if there's one answer that I can rule out, that I made an effort to rule it out, and I ended up answering 195 questions. And when I came out of the exam hall, I did not know if that was the right thing to do or if it was a mistake. But I knew that if I wanted to stay in the game, then that is the thing I should have done.
Yeah.
And I knew I would have regretted it if I hadn't
Mhm.
given it my all.
So in hindsight, it was the right thing to do.
Yeah, definitely in hindsight.
Great, great, amazing. I mean, it was a tricky exam for both
Yeah.
shifts for that matter, and to come out of it with such a wonderful rank, I think great job done, and so proud of you. So
Thank you, ma'am.
many congratulations, and hoping to see you soon.
Yeah, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Thank you. All the very
Yeah.
best.
Ma'am, can I
Yes, please, please, please go on.
no, not as a part of the interview, ma'am, but
Yeah,
I
yeah,
just
yes, yes, yes,
I have been so excited since I got the call saying that you will interview me. I
yes.
wanted to send you a message last night itself, but I was spending time with my family, and we were all just overcome with emotion from the exam. So
Absolutely,
in the
absolutely.
morning I texted you, and I just want to tell you that even before the result came, right when I came out of the exam, even though I did not know how my preparation was and that the paper was not how I expected, I thought the paper would have been a little more easier.
Yeah,
But even despite that, when I came outside, I was able to confidently tell my parents that I was happy with my preparation and there was absolutely nothing I
yeah,
would have changed, or there were no regrets. There was nothing to say, I should have done that, I should have done this,
yeah,
because I have, especially after now, May INI, I got around the same rank as November INI. And I was shocked because I had studied so much more between November and May.
yeah,
So I was very disappointed. And then I realized that I had not put in the effort to want the rank that bad.
yeah.
Just studying wasn't exactly the best approach for a competitive exam. So once May INI was done, I got a rank of around 5,000, and that was the same thing I had gotten in November. So I just decided that it's not more content or anything that I need. I have all the content that I need. I had my BTR book and the extra points from PYQs and RR that I had added. And I knew that I had to make sure that I knew every single line that you had put in there. Because if I got something wrong from that, then on, I would only have myself to blame.
Beautifully said, and from 5,000 to 11, I think that's remarkable in a span of few months. And I think it's the mindset shift. It's just that shift. You had that knowledge in you. It was the desire and the
Yeah.
confidence. I think it's a mix of both. When they come together, I think you're unstoppable. If you have your content down, your basics down, once you have the confidence that I'm going to do this, no matter what
Mhm.
MCQ comes, I'm going to see answer is in front of me as
Yeah.
you said, right? So I just have to choose the right
Mm.
answer. So that mindset, it happens like a click. One
Yes,
fine
ma'am.
day. That is what I feel. So beautiful to see that journey, and I'm so happy. You completely deserve this rank, and we are so proud of you.
Thank you, ma'am. I am so grateful to you,
Thank
my
you.
family as well.
Thank you so much. If
Just
you want to give a shout out to your family, your friends, please, please do so.
Of course, ma'am. My family has always been supportive of me, especially in academics. This entire year, I'm grateful that I had a family who could support me and I didn't have to worry about anything else and I could just focus on my studies. There was never any pressure to study or even like that. They just wanted me to do what I felt like doing. And I feel that lack
That
of pressure, I can say.
absolutely, it's a
To,
blessing which not everybody have, and
yeah.
also the gratitude for that blessing is also not everybody have. So it's very nice to see, you saying this.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you so much.
Yes.
So it
Thank
was
you, ma'am.
great, and as I said, we'll meet soon. We would love to meet you. You're a very, very, balanced, centered, and I love that about you. So always be the same. Uh,
Thank you, ma'am.
Keep smiling always.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank
Thank
you.
you so much.
Bye.
Bye, ma'am.